Third regular meeting of the Lake County Board of Commissioners. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the invocation. Dear God, please bless our meeting today. May our discussions be fruitful, our decisions wise, and our community strong. Amen. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here.
Commissioner Regovich.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present. Now is time for our public comment portion. If you'd like to address the board, please approach the podium stating your name and address for 3 minutes of discussion.
There we go.
Lori Bobin, 6067 Ford Road. I was totally unaware at last week's meeting until Mr. Massey addressed the commissioners about the resolution on that day's agenda of limiting the public speaking portion of the weekly meetings. I would like to voice my disappointment in the outcome of that vote. That resolution, removing the second portion of public comments altogether, and now reducing the first portion of public commentary from 5 minutes down to 3. It is very disappointing to see conservative Republicans, very much First Amendment rights supporters, want to limit that right, with the exception of Commissioner Hammercheck, who last week voted no. I have been a Lake County resident for 33 of my 60 years. I feel your new limited public speaking rules discourages Lake County residents from wanting to voice their Lake County concerns to their elected commissioners. As discouraged as I am about the new public speaking resolution, it is my right to continue to address this board with my Lake County concerns as a taxpayer of this county. And I plan to continue doing so when I see an issue such as your responsibility to maintain our community and county roads. Regardless of the fact that the county engineer seems to no longer have a seat at this particular table. And it has been established at a multitude of times in 2023 commissioner meetings that the county roads are your responsibility. That being said, Commissioner Plechnik, while we have yet to be on the same page when it comes to our county road perspectives, and obviously the new resolution on the public speaking portion, I felt the very inappropriate and frankly ugly personal attack you endured at last week's meeting was totally out of line, especially in a very public meeting, and it served no purpose to address any issue whatsoever for the residents of Lake County. I would hope, as this is a public forum, we could all be responsible, respectable examples in this new year ahead. Not only for our children, whose concerns have been brought up numerous times in past meetings, and on occasion have actually been in attendance in this very room, but also an example for other adults who still need to learn that lesson. Thank you for listening to my 3-minute public comment.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Dave Lima, 7774 Litchfield Drive. Good morning, Commissioners. I also was disappointed to learn that you voted to eliminate the second public comment item from the regular agenda. The second public comment item has been part of this commission's agenda for as long as I can remember. A public meeting with public comments can be a means of soliciting feedback on proposed resolutions. It can allow citizens to respond to changes and create awareness of an issue. It encourages public involvement, and involving the public helps to ensure that relevant information is not overlooked. Diverse participation can also help to legitimize the final decisions or actions for the greater public. Of course, a limited public forum establishing reasonable rules concerning time limits, disruptive behavior, prolonged, repetitive, and irrelevant comments makes sense. It not only allows for the orderly conduct of business, but it also protects the right of others who wish to provide input. Despite the fact that Ohio does not require public comments to be included in the agendas of public bodies, the vast majority of city councils, county commissions, school boards, and other public bodies have included public comments as part of their regular agenda, recognizing that input from the community is at the heart of democratic governance. The Mentor School Board, for example, allows public comments concerning agenda items at the beginning of their meetings and a second public comment at the end for addressing other concerns and issues. This commission, over the years, has voluntarily chosen to seek public input concerning county issues and policy by including public comment at the beginning and end of each meeting. Without a second public comment agenda item, we, the public, are unable to address other concerns and issues and unable to respond to a number of agenda items that follow the Commission's consideration of published proposed resolutions, namely departmental reports and old and new business. Opportunity should exist for public input should these items be the subject of discussion by the Commission. Therefore, to ensure that public input and democratic governance is respected and valued, I urge you to reconsider and revisit the decision to eliminate the second public comment agenda item and restore it to its proper place as a regular agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive. I'm here on behalf of several residents that have asked me to, who can't attend the commissioner meetings, and asked me to address their issues. And one has to do with the following, and I'll make this available to the commissioners, but they were complaining about the high-level street lights that don't work or are intermittent in operation, and they're all located on Lost Nation Road and the approach to the bridge over the Route 2. It's been over 2 years since they first notified the county engineer's office of the situation, but it still hasn't been resolved. I've also received calls from citizens complaining about lights on Route 2 that are no longer working, and they have not been working for quite some time. So we're asking, on behalf of the citizens, what is going to be done and when can that problem be fixed? Thank you. May I approach Jennifer?
Yes.
Good morning. It's Roxanne Fremont from Willoughby Hills on Maple Grove Road. Commissioners, thank you for your service and thank you for this opportunity to speak. I moved to Ohio from North Carolina approximately 4 years ago. I lived in Durham, North Carolina, which was run by Democrats. Despite this, property taxes were revenue neutral. By revenue neutral, I mean that when property values went up, then the rate of taxation was adjusted downward so the county took in exactly the same amount of tax dollars. If the county wanted more revenue, then they had to go to the taxpayers and convince them. I would like to suggest that this is the moral thing to do, even here in Lake County, Ohio. I was recently shocked to learn that my property and school taxes could go up substantially if my house is revalued at a higher price. In other words, I'm shocked to learn that I can be penalized in yet another way by the Federal Reserve's inflationary monetary policy. I'm already dinged by my grocery bill, but may soon be dinged again by my property tax bill. The citizens voted for a certain amount of taxation, and just because the value of all property is reassessed by, for instance, a 25% increase, as an example, does not mean that county government should get a 25% raise. If the county government can justify that it needs more money, then the county needs to justify that to the electorate, who then should vote on the matter. Please note that in North Carolina there were also no local income taxes. There was only a state income tax. I also lived in Texas, which had no state income tax at all. I have lived in several places. However, Lake County and Ohio share the distinction with New York State of being the only states where local governments can tax your income and collect income taxes for both where you live and where you work. But still, Ohio exceeds New York State because Ohio allows some school districts to be separate taxing authorities. Ohio wins for having the strangest, most complicated, and excessive form of taxation I have seen. I've told my friends in other states, do not follow me to Ohio. This is unfortunate because really and truly, don't misunderstand me, I love a lot of things about Lake County, Ohio. I think Lake County is a beautiful place to live. Its river valleys, forest, and Lake Erie make it a naturally prettier place than Durham, North Carolina. However, there's a reason that Ohio remains an unpopular jurisdiction for business and people to relocate to. Changing excessive and complicated forms of taxation will do more to attract business to Lake County than the Chamber of Commerce or Visitor Center ever will. Very liberal, and I do mean very liberal, Durham, North Carolina, had lower taxes and fewer taxing authorities with no local income taxes. Durham is absolutely thriving today. There is a reason that is often referred to today as the new Silicon Valley, with tons of new businesses. Durham has expanded its tax base and provided a lot of new jobs to the residents in the process. That allowed it to hold the line on tax rates. Please consider improving Lake County by doing similar, moving the same direction. Please make property taxes revenue neutral in this county. And thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Okay, God bless. Take care.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Chris Weiss, 6,000 Trask Road, Leroy Township. How sophomoric, we've got a timer, wonderful. I wanted to bring the commissioners' attention to the fact that on September 16th, 2021, two of you voted, that's Mr. Plechnik and Mr. Hamercheck, along with Commissioner Young, voted on the previous resolution on public commentary, which I'm holding in my hand right here, which states in pertinent part, each person is permitted one time period per comment per public portion. Public comment during the first portion of the meeting shall be allowed up to a maximum limit of 5 minutes. Public comment during the second public portion of the meeting has no maximum time limit provided, however may be limited by the discretion of the president or a majority of the board. Your first act of power, Commissioner Plechnik, is to reverse your own vote and change the policy dramatically. That and a lot of other things you've been doing lead me to ask you, when are you going to start doing the job that we elected you to do? Okay? The county pays you over $90,000 to be a commissioner and pursue those duties, yet you seem to have all kinds of time to do many things that have nothing to do with that job. In addition, you have a full-time job as a tenured professor of law at Cleveland State University. So you're not hurting for money, and I find it interesting, as parodies go, you took the time to have a professionally made commercial portraying yourself as John Wick, which I find ironic. Tenured law professor parodies himself as a killer. a hitman for the Russian mob. In this movie, the mob boss, his son, kills the dog, steals the car, and beats John up. Then John Wick goes on a homicidal vigilante killing spree, killing 77 people. I know this because geeks somewhere track these kinds of things on movie websites. I'm not a woke leftist, however, I support the Constitution and all of its amendments, okay? You even brought your faithful dog, Bimmer, into your narcissistic fantasy. Again, I just don't get, how your job as a commissioner equates to being a vigilante killer and bringing hordes of people together. I went to a meeting where over 100 people were present for a screening of this thing, and you were quite proud of this. Other acts as a commissioner I became aware of is that you committed the unauthorized use of public funds and brought another county official into your shenanigans by leveraging the county dog warden, Rodney Shelton, to give you access to the dog pound for your personal use and creating what is essentially a campaign ad for your last campaign. The other commissioners and the prosecutor had to intervene to put a stop to this unauthorized use of public resources, yet you still managed to stick it to the taxpayers to have the county pay over $3,000 for the production of the advertisement. Continuing on your quasi-illegal and unethical hijinks using county resources, I'd like to know how you avoided being indicted for using your county office and county resources to teach an online law school class outside your purview as a CSU professor, for which you were paid over $7,000. Only after being outed by your own students, because you kept telling them that you had an unblemished ethics record, yeah, right, you made a huge public gesture and donated the money to the NAACP. While I'm sure the NAACP is happy to take a white college professor's money, I also believe they're smart enough to realize the donation had nothing to do with your genuine support of minorities. Which brings me along to the next item. Well, I guess I'm out of time. I'll see you next week. Got a notebook full of stuff for you. Thank you.
Anyone else for public portion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, to the resolutions.
In the engineer's office, resolution approving plans and specifications for Fairway Pines subdivision Phase 5 in Painesville Township.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost in the amount of $243,790.50 for a water line for Fairway Pines subdivision Phase 5 in Painesville Township, job number 23-20.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost in the amount of $224,218.70 for sanitary sewers for Fairway Pines subdivision Phase 5 in Painesville Township, job number 23-21.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost in the amount of $153,013.30 for water lines for Andrews Ridge Phase 2 subdivision in the city of Willoughby, job number 23-37.
Any discussion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, sir.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract in the amount of $3,596,159 to Shivers Construction Company Incorporated for Arcola Creek Trunk Sewer Project 454S 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Randy, you want to add to that one? 'Cause that's kind of a big one. Just if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, this is, you're right, a $3.5 million project is a big project for us. It is the final leg of the sanitary sewer that will interconnect the Madison Village wastewater treatment plant to our wastewater treatment plant and allow the abandonment of the village's treatment plant and then ultimately the village residents will become customers of Lake County Department of Utilities for both sewer and water. So this is that final piece, and we have about a 12-month, I think, completion date for that. So within about a year, hopefully that'll be done, and we'll have that project behind us.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
No.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechner.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing execution of agreements between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and various entities and organizations for the Ohio Department of Aging Healthy Aging Grant Funding.
Any discussion? Oh,
Move
first,
to approve.
Second, sir.
any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $960,313.62.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $1,580,903.36.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes.
Resolution establishing a fund to be known as Lead Safe Grant.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes.
Resolution approving the 2024 permanent appropriation measure for the general fund.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? I would just say we sincerely thank our staff, including our new budget manager, as well as Joel DeMar, Director of Administrative Services, for presenting us with a balanced budget on which we vote today. Madam Clerk, roll.
Commissioner Hammercheck,
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnick.
Yes. Departmental reports. First, utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. We had a bid opening for the Kirtland Old Town Sanitary Sewer Project Phase 2 on Wednesday. We had 9 bids, which is very encouraging. Only one was under the engineer's estimate, but the fact that we got one under the engineer's estimate is also encouraging. So this is another large project for us. It'll provide sewer to about 130 homes in Kirtland. And again, we're still evaluating the bids, but we hope to bring a contract in the next 30 to 60 days for your consideration.
Thank you. Job and Family Services.
Thank you, Commissioner. Our Ohio Means Jobs Lake County team has been busy planning events for 2024. I wanted to share 2 of those events. They are hosting a resume revision day across the street in the OMJ Center, located within the Job and Family Services building. That is going to be on Friday, January 26th from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Any member of the public is welcome to stop in anytime to receive services from our team on improving and updating their resumes. And the OMJ team is also doing another unique day. They're calling this a career exploration day, where again members of the public are invited to come into the Career Center, and they will have the ability to utilize career exploration virtual reality headsets, and they would be able to explore careers in industries such as healthcare, firefighting, manufacturing, electrical construction, and welding. That virtual reality event is going to be on Wednesday, January 31st from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Our county administrator is out today, so Madam Clerk.
The next regular commissioner meeting is scheduled for Thursday, January 25th, 10 a.m. Thank you.
And legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Thank you. That brings us to old business. Do we have any old business to discuss? Hearing none, any new business before the commission? Mr. DeMar.
I just wanted to briefly thank all the department heads and elected officials for bearing with Jason and I as we got through the budget process this year. Moving forward, Jason, myself, and Zach will continue to work with our elected officials and department heads. As we know, this budget the commissioners passed today is just kind of a starting point. We have resolutions on almost every week, tweaking and making adjustments where needed as things unplanned arise. So we will continue to work with the elected officials and department heads to have a successful budget year this year for 2024.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I'd like to also thank Joel and Jason. This was a unique year for us, as we all know. We lost our department, and they stepped in and kept the county running, essentially, so everybody can get paid, and all those things can happen. It was no small feat, and I think we starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and with the passage of this, that's a good thing to go into 2024 all set and being able to focus. So thanks very much, and thanks for your staff.
Thank you. Any other new business? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second, sir.
All in favor? Madam
Aye.
Clerk, roll.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletcher.
Yes, we are adjourned.